Ladies and gentlemen, in a powerful and dignified statement that's already sending shockwaves through the corridors of power, the office of His Majesty King Bulelani Lobengula Kamzilikazi has fired back at what it calls dismissive and threatening remarks made by Minister Daniel Garwe and ZANU-PF mouthpiece Christopher Mutswangwa. The remarks followed the King's recent visit to Bulawayo, where he met with Mayor David Coltart on what the royal office insists was a peaceful, cultural pilgrimage, not a political stunt. The King's camp made it clear his role is cultural, symbolic, and deeply rooted in ancestral heritage, not political. The press conference emphasized unity, identity, and heritage restoration for the Mtwakazi people, with a sharp rebuke for any government officials who mistake traditional leadership for a threat. According to the King's spokesperson, any threats of arrest are not only disrespectful but also an affront to Ubuntu and Pan-African values. In a tone both firm and measured, the King's office called for mutual respect, coexistence between traditional and state institutions, and a broader embrace of Zimbabwe's pre-colonial history. The message: the King is not here to seize power, but to restore dignity, history, and unity. And now, here is the full press statement from the office of His Majesty King Bulelani Lobengula Kamzilikazi, unedited as it was delivered. Watch this.
Office of His Majesty King Bulelani Lobengula Kamzilikazi. Public statement in response to remarks by government officials regarding His Majesty's visit to Bulawayo today on the 4th of May 2025. The office of His Majesty King Bulelani Lobengula Kamzilikazi, based in the Republic of South Africa, has taken note of recent public statements made by the Minister of Local Government and Public Works, Daniel Garwe, ZANU-PF spokesperson, Mr. Christopher Mutswangwa, concerning His Majesty's visit to the city of Bulawayo and his courtesy engagement with the Mayor, Councillor David Coltart. While we understand and respect the importance of dialogue and the rule of law within the sovereign nation, we find it imperative to address the tone and the implications of the said statements with the necessary dignity and clarity. His Majesty King Bulelani Lobengula Kamzilikazi holds a deeply rooted ancestral and cultural position within the hearts of the Mtwakazi people as a direct descendant of King Lobengula and ultimately the King Mzilikazi, the founder of the Ndebele nation. His role is not political, but restorative, cultural, and symbolic, aimed at uniting the Mtwakazi descendants across Southern Africa and the diaspora through heritage, identity, and community development. His Majesty's visit to Bulawayo was in no way a political event or an act of defiance. It was a private and dignified cultural pilgrimage and to a historic heartland of the Ndebele people. A journey marked by mutual respect and peaceful engagement, a cultural significance. His meeting with the Mayor David Coltart was conducted in a spirit of courtesy and national unity, reflective of our African tradition of mutual recognition among community leaders. We respectfully urge public officials to exercise caution and decorum and cultural sensitivity when speaking on matters of heritage and traditional leadership. Dismissive language or threats of arrest directed at a traditional and cultural figure whose mission is reconciliatory, unity, and empowerment does not reflect the spirit of Ubuntu or the values enshrined in Pan-Africanism. The kingdom reiterates its commitment to peaceful engagement, cultural restoration, and respectful cooperation with both government and civil institutions. We believe that coexistence between traditional structures and the state governance is not only possible but necessary for a more inclusive and reconciled future. We remain open to constructive dialogue with all relevant stakeholders in Zimbabwe and the region to find common ground in the recognition and preservation of traditional institutions that predate colonial boundaries. These institutions, when embraced and integrated, can contribute meaningfully to community development, national unity, and cultural tourism. We would like to thank all the citizens of the country who have shown the undivided support. We would like to thank all the citizens of the country who have shown their undivided support to the king. The kingship issue and the kingship issue and the mayor of the city of Bulawayo and the culture of our Mtwakazi nation, it has clearly demonstrated that inkosi yinkosi ngabantu. We call upon all concerned to embrace a spirit of mutual respect, understanding, and dialogue in addressing matters concerning the cultural identity of Mtwakazi people. His Majesty's presence is not an imposition, but a reminder of a shared aspiration and history that yearns for healing, dignity, and recognition. We thank you.
Uyayivumela
impi uyayivumela.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to subscribe to Zimwaves TV, where history meets the headlines.
Kupinda mumugwagwa varwive hondo imi magandanga vechidiki naivo vatana mawindi memavenda varairi dzine masoja tese tatomira negumbo rimwe kuti timanye koimi muchadaidzira rini kana kuwedza Bulawayo kana kumbungo pashurugwi vechidiki naivo vatana mawindi memavenda varairi dzine masoja tese tatomira negumbo rimwe kuti timanye koimi muchadaidzira rini muzvikoro nanachiremba muzvitoro tayasipora vechidiki naivo vatana mawindi memavenda varairi dzine masoja